document, document, document. As a language teacher, I'd be happy to explain the word document in detail. A document is a noun, which means it's an object or concept that can exist independently. In common usage, a document refers to any written or printed material, such as a letter, report, contract, or even a piece of artwork, that conveys information or ideas. The term can also be used more broadly to describe electronic files, like Word documents or PDFs, which are digital versions of traditional paper-based documents. A special note about the usage of document is that it's often used in formal or official contexts, such as government, business, or education, where written records and papers play a crucial role in communication and record-keeping. Here are 3 example sentences using the word document with varying levels of formality and context. I'm applying for a visa to study abroad in France, so I need to submit an official document with my passport and proof of financial support. The immigration officer asked me to present the document that verified my identity, which is a crucial step in the application process. In this formal usage, the word document refers to an official government-issued paper that serves as identification. During our trip to Paris, we visited the Louvre Museum and saw the famous Mona Lisa painting. But I was surprised when I realized that they didn't allow us to take a document of the artwork. With us, it's probably because they're really strict about copyright. My friend just laughed and said she had taken a sneaky photo on her phone instead. In this casual conversation usage, the word document refers to a physical or digital copy of something. In our meeting today, we'll be discussing the sales report for Q2, which includes some discrepancies in the document that the accounting team provided. I think it's essential that we review the figures and verify the accuracy of the data before making any conclusions. Our CEO will be expecting us to provide a detailed analysis of the document, so let's make sure to come prepared with our insights. In this business or academic usage, the word document refers to a written report or paper that contains specific information, data, or research results. So you want to learn about that thing we use to write and share information? A written text, usually on paper or digitally, that contains organized and structured content, often with headings, paragraphs, and sometimes pictures or tables. It's like a book or a letter, but shorter and more focused on a specific topic or idea. Similar things are called papers, reports, or articles, and they're used for sharing information, telling stories, or explaining something to others. People use them to communicate ideas, make plans, or record important details, like notes from a meeting or steps to follow a recipe. Does that sound helpful? Dominate, dominate, dominate. Let's talk about the word dominate. So, dominate is a verb, which means it's an action word that tells us what someone or something is doing. In common usage, to dominate means to have control or power over something or someone, often in a way that's not entirely equal. For example, a strong team might dominate their opponents in a sports game, or a person with a lot of money might dominate the economy. It can also mean to be the best at something or to outdo others in some way. What's interesting about dominate is that it can have a slightly negative connotation if used in certain contexts. For instance, if one country dominates another through military power or economic coercion. But overall, it's a useful word to know when you want to describe situations where one party has more influence or control than others. Let's take a look at some practical example sentences using the word dominate. If you're attending a formal dinner party, you might say something like, "The host's exquisite wine collection dominated the evening's conversations, with many guests vying for his attention." Here, the context is a social gathering where one person's possessions or expertise take center stage. In contrast, if you're having a casual conversation with a friend, you might say, "My younger brother dominates me at video games, I just can't beat him." Here, the context is a light-hearted and informal exchange between two people, often with a playful tone. On the other hand, in a business or academic setting, you might use the word to describe market trends. The e-commerce industry will likely dominate online retail in the coming years, as more consumers shift their purchasing habits to digital platforms. In this case, the context is a professional discussion where data and statistics are used to make informed predictions. So, you want to learn about this concept that means being in control or having the upper hand. Well, when we say someone is dominating something, it usually means they're doing better or achieving more than others in that area. It's like they're on top of the game. The main characteristics are that they're highly skilled and often consistent in their performance. For example, if you're playing a sport with friends and one person always wins, we might say they're dominating the game. Similar concepts to this idea include things like excel or outshine, which also mean doing better than others, but maybe not as strongly. When someone is dominating something, it's often because of their hard work, dedication, and natural ability. It's used to describe situations where people are competing with each other, like in sports, business, or even just everyday activities. Emphasis. 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 Let's talk about the word emphasis. The part of speech is noun, which means it can be used as the subject or object of a sentence. In common usage, emphasis refers to the strong or prominent attention given to something, such as an idea, a point, or a feature, that makes it stand out from others. For example, she put great emphasis on her ability to finish the project on time, means she gave a lot of importance and stress on completing the project quickly. It's worth noting that emphasis can also be used in a more abstract sense, such as the artist's use of color added an emphasis to the overall mood of the painting, where it highlights the significance or intensity of the artistic effect. Additionally, when speaking about language, we often talk about emphasis on pronunciation, meaning how clearly and strongly certain words are pronounced. At her job interview, Sarah's interviewer pointed out that in today's industry, it's essential to put emphasis on innovation and creativity when hiring new employees. In contrast, during a casual chat with friends over coffee, Emily mentioned that she's been trying to find a workout routine that puts emphasis on strength training over cardio exercises. Meanwhile, in a lecture on marketing strategies, Professor Thompson stressed the importance of emphasizing product quality and customer satisfaction in order to build brand loyalty among consumers. So when we talk about something being put at the forefront of our attention, that's kind of like what emphasis does. It means giving priority or importance to a particular aspect or point in order to highlight its significance. Imagine you're trying to explain a complex idea to someone and you want to make sure they remember one key detail. That's where putting emphasis comes in. You'd repeat it, use stronger language, or even draw attention to it with hand gestures to drive the point home. In essence, emphasis is about making something stand out from all the other information so it gets noticed and remembered.